we once again return to my previous. That's the abandoned town of Barrow, and having found the jars of personal effects made of human bone that have arcane and unknowable quality to them. Is there anything anyone would like to do at this stage?
As stated, Crow's kind of gathering up 2 at a time. He's not going to try to like put all of them in his arms. He's not insane, but he is gathering them up more in a staging area so we can see exactly what everything is. We've got buttons, cufflinks, and things of that sort, it seems like, but I don't feel like the light in the burned out, dusted down bell tower is as good as even just the light in the ambient light that the Deathlands probably has, because it's got this weird ambient ghost energy.
So while you're doing that and gathering them up, let's Caroline and Gaz, is there anything you would like to do?
Does any of the haunted jewelry look cool? Or is it all really simple?
It depends how much of a. It's got a very macabre streak. It's made of human bone, so depends how you feel about that.
That's fair.
Sure of that, but the buttons and cuffs, those, some of them look like they are recent. Is not the word I'm looking for, but in better state, like they were taken from people maybe a few days ago.
They're not new, but they're certainly they don't have that worn quality. They haven't faded to yellow, or so a few years old at the most.
Do any of them have blood on them?
Yes.
No.
Do those anything looks like something that was on the girl I saw, like something she wore on her ghost form?
She didn't seem to have any, no.
She also said I wouldn't participate or something to that effect.
Yeah, but she could have take it from her corpse as as some trophies. Maybe that's her trophies, you know.
I'm thinking that's the participation, considering they're all made of bone. Or at least that's part of the participation, like priming them for a ritual.
Mm.
Well, Crow's gonna open one.
Opening them up, you find that
I'm opening one, only one.
Small. It's one of the small trinket boxes. Snap it open. There's 5 rings set into old and slightly scuffed velvet padding.
They're jars?
No, that's a trinket box.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove one of the rings and just kind of hold it up close so I can inspect it a bit better. Maybe use analyze.
If you want to, yeah, go for it.
Oh, because rolling insight knowledge-based things has always been so helpful in...
What did you get?
Credit again.
Critical.
Off of 2 dice.
As you turn it in your fingers, you find yourself murmuring the words written on it. They mean nothing to you, but you somehow understand them. As the other two of you, as you hear these words, you notice your vision narrows. It's almost like your periphery is folding in, and you're getting almost tunnel vision. As you feel in your fingers, the ring itself gets hotter, warmer to the touch, and there's a moment as you throw it away and let it on the floor. The three of you look at it before it just goes and explodes.
How big of an explosion are we talking? Like firecracker or?
We're talking there's a hole in the floor.
Oh no.
So we're talking M80 level, quarter stick. Okay, let's do this.
And as you begin to put the pieces together, especially Caroline seeing the ghost and realizing that she likely was wearing a couple of hairpins.
Wait, bones? Hairpins?
Yeah, carved from bone.
Oh. Okay.
Explains the explosion at the back of her head.
It's a
Forced compliance jewelry.
Yeah.
God, Dustful Suicide Squad, Jesus.
Anyone with having second doubts? Well.
Oh, second thoughts? You mean no thoughts?
Yeah, that's the one. You're familiar
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Well, we know why these were created.
That is a lot. Like how many like hairpins and stuff are there? Like it's like several jars, right? It's quite a bit.
There's jars, there's the hairpins, there's buttons, there's necklaces, there's rings, there's...
Gaz is currently looking at a ring and being like, I wonder if I could take it. I'd lose a finger.
I'm Crow's looking at two very different mindsets. Crow's looking at the amount we have and wondering if we could just blow this town to bits with the amount we have.
I wouldn't consider this ammo.
Sorry.
Even less something we can count on to explode when we want to.
I'm so sorry, but I find it hilarious that the two Europeans are staring at us very concerned as the two Americans are just like, let's blow things up. Live, just so you're caught in on the joke I just made, the two Europeans are looking concerned as the two Americans are like, let's blow crap up.
They're like, this is dangerous. We're like, this is awesome.
I'm so sorry.
Jeez. I'm sorry. We have to play into the stereotype sometime.
Apparently. Like, I didn't even realize that until I saw the look of concern on both of their faces. I'm like, oh yeah, we're being Americans over here.
Yeah.
Overwhelming force and explosives.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, but Honestly, we gotta be careful because if some of this manages to get back to Dustfall and people are getting mail bombs from buttons in their envelopes, we're gonna have problems.
It seems to
So
be
what are we gonna
like
do with them?
occult in
Oh.
nature to even set them off.
It's what that send them off.
There's something in the incantations. It's trying to recall it back. Crow, you're not capable of recalling what you said.
Got it.
It was sort of in that moment there was that understanding of it.
Maybe we should find some body of water and just dunk all that crap in. Be sure she can hurt anyone more than she already has. It would be a good start.
Definitely something we'll have to do, or we might be better, since they're arcane in nature, to set them into the crematorium, or give them over to the wardens and the other wardens and have them deal with it.
I don't think we should bring it near a whole thing of wardens when she can see the future and maybe, stand like a street down.
Well,
Yeah, imagine if she can send them off on distance, she would wipe out all of the warden in one go.
this would be, of course, after we've dealt with her. Failed to mention that step, I apologize.
No, yes, officer, please take my promote sticky bomb. I promise it's okay.
So, on that note, is there anything you would like to do from here as you...
It feels like we're not gonna find her here.
No.
And we don't really have a direction to go. Hunker down until the Severosi riders come back?
Sounds as good as plan as any.
I'd like to check for tracks around
For what?
the place.
Sorry?
Tracks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Make me a check.
Can I go with hunt?
Yes, absolutely.
Alright, let's do that. I'm gonna push myself again. Who's smart?
So we got 5.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yes, you notice that despite the ash and the constant shifting of the sands, you are able to make out the slight certain presence of movement that goes to and between across the town. There's the slightest hint of footprints, and following it towards where the ground collapses down into itself, you see that there is a rope that leads down into that fissure in the earth. Looking in, you can just about make out the hastily constructed scaffolding and walkways that seem to be built into the rock face further down.
Karin's going to call out for the other. I think I know where they went, and you're not going to like it.
Is it dark and spooky?
Yes, but
Knew it.
I kind of look over at Baz and just shake my head and proceed to make my way over to Caroline.
So
Gaz does as well, reluctantly.
the good news is I'm pretty sure they went down there. The bad news is I'm pretty sure they went down there.
How far down are we talking exactly?
The light fades out pretty quickly into here. So it's probably a 15-20 foot climb down on that rope. And then you hit the walkways and they seem to descend further into the darkness below.
And what's the hole? Like, is it
It's
just,
just it's a fissure in the earth that's just opened up in half the town. You can see there's half buildings on the edges of it where it's just opened up underneath them and half the construction has just fallen down. Deathlands.
Electroplasm emits a bit of light, right? Not a lot, but like
It's got an azure blue glow to it, and it's natural.
Maybe-
there's electroplasm lamps.
maybe like the equivalent of a flare, so to speak.
Depends how you're using it. If you're throwing it, it's also highly combustible.
Okay, I was thinking about
Two birds, one stone.
I was thinking about using a vial of electroplasm and dropping it down there, but I don't want it to hit the scaffolding and blow it up.
It likely a fall of several feet when it hits that impact wall.
Yeah, it's a thing of glass.
I mean, the blaze would make lights.
Certainly would, yeah.
So, are we going down there?
Baz.
Mhm.
Crow
All right.
nods.
Yeah, no, Baz is going first. He takes out his climbing gear that he packed. After the basement, he came prepared. And starts going down there.
Crow's going to use the rope to go down there.
I don't trust that rope.
I don't
I
really.
trust my own equipment and nothing else.
I don't really either, but I also don't want to spend the 2 load for climbing gear.
It's fine.
I'm gonna say, mate. I'll say to let's say to Gaz, make me a check. You'll get down there fine. It's more to sort of see what happens, but you can do it at +1 with the climbing gear.
Prowl?
Yep, that works.
Okay. And +1 dice?
Mm-hmm.
Or, okay. 4.
Okay. As you feel your feet hit the rickety scaffold beneath you, you release. It actually feels more structurally sound than that spiral staircase in the bell tower. But you can hear murmuring in unison. Caroline, you following? Okay, and
Yes.
as the three of you look over the edge, you see this how far down this seems to descend. Still no sign of the bottom, but you can see along the way there are multiple platforms, pulleys, crude elevator systems that have been set up, and that murmuring is just carrying up, echoing in the rock amidst the rock walls.
Down we go, I guess. As Crow kind of examines the scaffolding to see probably the best way, the safest and the quickest way to get down.
I mean, the safest way is to stay on the walkways, but you can sort of jump down by layers if you want to go a slightly speedier way.
Crow's old. He's not doing any jumping. Let's be fair.
As you make your way ever further and further into the darkness, the murmuring becomes more and more intense as from below and almost supported in a central platform with other walkways leading in, you can just about make out the ethereal glow, especially Caroline, who saw the image earlier, of a ritual now underway.
Everybody's in stunned silence.
Oh, it's on.
Do we
Really sorry. Hold on.
do we just go in?
I'm so sorry, I got distracted. What just happened?
Ritual is already started.
Rituals right in
fantastic.
front of us, essentially. We are not noticed at this time.
Okay.
We could throw Basil with his axe in the gathering, so it is distracting them, and we just grab the little pest.
A little pest.
I was very similar idea, but I was gonna throw a grenade in.
We do both.
We should throw the bones trinkets and see how they like it.
Well, no, I have actual lightning grenades, so like.
Yeah, but poetic irony.
True. I am very much. This is still very much Nathan. I want to throw a grenade in.
Are you throwing a grenade?
We say that, but nobody's presented a better idea or told me no, don't do it.
I mean, I can go in and wreck shop. I got 3 in skirmish. I can fight pretty well.
But you can fight even better after a grenade has softened up targets.
Maybe grenade first.
Okay, decision.
Then
I want a decision.
Basil,
I want a
Grenade.
decision. Grenade.
Grenades.
Grenade.
Basil,
Go on, go. Make the check.
And punching a little girl.
I'm gonna push myself here. Because
Yes, Caroline. Yes.
I feel like this is a
gonna
subdue. I'm attempting to
It's like a
Caroline and children.
yeah, no.
I'm gonna
It's like
say
a character trait at this point.
It's
Sorry.
still a desperate action limited effects. Remember, you're against somebody who can see this coming.
Seeing things coming and acting. Like, time to
Or
stop
okay, so well, if I'm pushing myself, I could raise that up
You
to
can-
normal effect.
You can raise that to normal effect. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Should
a
I-
desperate action, but
Oh. Well, I'm gonna take a +1 to my scorn. I think I will go ahead and
Can
take
I assist in some way?
how?
So I guess it'd be some sort of distraction. So I guess like maybe throwing a lantern against the far wall would distract enough of them. Maybe I'm trying to figure out like how I'd. Or just shooting a pistol would be enough discombobulation to.
That would work. I'll give you that. Yeah. I'll say as well, if you're using that, then if you're actually using a firearm, then you also get a +1 on your check.
All right.
Correct. But you take 1 stress, obviously, for the assist, and mark off pistol from your...
Okay.
So this is still desperate. I'm boosting it to a standard effect. And
Okay, and you have you have a
bonus die from the assist.
bonus die from the assist.
Now, everybody keep in mind, I've gotten 2 crits in a row. This roll's probably gonna go bad. I called it.
Yes.
I knew it.
That's what we like as a figure runs out of the dark and throws themselves at you, a now cooking grenade in your hands, and as they pin you to the ground. And you see, as they do, you see points in their shirt and hands begin to glow as they loom in
All right.
on top of you, and it's, we go together.
May I resist this incoming?
You're holding a hot grenade, and you've got someone who is willing to die by
Explosion.
exploding bone charms. Yeah. Right.
Can I skirmish to get the grenade out of his hand and get it somewhere else?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Since they're
would you
not
like to-
pinning me down?
Would you like to resist on the pinning?
Yes, I would. This would be Scorn. Scorn's kind of my combat stuff.
Yeah.
Control provokes, subdue.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll say also desperate action for your grenade, grab, throw, whatever you're doing with that, because that's
1 stress.
1 stress. Okay. Caroline.
Okay.
Would you like to assist me, Wyverian?
I'm of course trying to get rid of the grenade too. I mean, like.
Yeah, I have 3 in skirmish. If you assist me, it'd be 4.
I'm also getting kind of high up in stress.
Yeah. I'm 3 till I trauma, but I can push.
Nah, I'll take the 1 stress to assist then.
Okay.
Now I'm 3 to trauma as well.
Hey! Brothers in trauma. Oh my god. We go together!
As this figure is sort of thrown to one side, trying to roll away, the grenade rolls free. You throw yourself after it.
I grab it with the meat moss hand.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Is the meat moss gone?
The meat moss is gone.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Bad news, so's your arm.
Yeah, that's as you stumble backward, as you're thrown backwards, hitting the wall hard and dropping down, and the smell of burning flesh fills the air as Gaz looks down, and that arm has been severed off just above the elbow. There's a moment of a disconnect as you don't feel the pain. It's that you look at your arm, and which lies charred, still smouldering several feet away from you as you look back to the stump. And that's a level 3 harm.
I'm shocked it wasn't level 4, to be honest.
It probably would have been if it was a regular grenade, but this is an electrical grenade, so a lot of the damage it did also immediately cauterized.
Yeah, that's why you got the smell of burning rather than the complete. It's an electrical.
And the good
Caroline.
news is we have a doctor with us. Was the explosion enough to distract the cultist?
The cultist has been thrown to one side, and yes, they're standing up. That glow coming from their hands, chest, sort of the line of buttons. And you can see there's a necklace as well, growing ever more and more intense, almost basking them in this blue-green hue.
I am going to do the dumbest thing I think Crow has ever done.
Hold on, I'm gonna stay with Caroline. If there's anything
Yeah, I'm
she
going
wants
to
to
do
do.
something very stupid too, if that can help. I'm going to use compel and bring as many spirits that I can right here.
I'd like to
desperate
assist.
action.
No,
Desperate action.
hold on. Caroline's got a bad idea, and I'm gonna make it worse.
It's still a desperate action.
I'm going to use Ghost Ward and entice spirits into the area. This was legit what I was gonna do to begin with.
It's still a desperate action. They are literally summoning horrors. So
And my plan is to turn them against the cultist if I can.
okay.
That's going to be a nasty little thing, just not to us.
Really quick,
Yeah.
can I use Battleborn to reduce it from 3 to 2?
Tell me about Battleborn. What's
Battleborn, expend special armor to reduce harm from an attack in combat or to push yourself during a fight. Okay.
Absolutely, yes. So you expend special armor, and so it's a -1 on prowess rolls, obviously, because
Yeah.
You've
It's kind of hard to
got
fight.
that- yeah, but you've certainly got that disconnect. It's adrenaline is driving you. You're not feeling the pain at this point. Somehow, something's shutting that off from that experience.
So desperate is standard or risky or limited effect.
Greater effect because they're
Oh,
yeah
yes.
they're already doing a ritual, so you are adding fuel to the fire.
Okay, so you're assisting, Nathan?
I'm assisting by also drawing as many spirits to the area as I can.
So if I push myself, I only add 1 dice? Because just I have the same idea but doing different things.
You can push yourself for 1 die, and you've got the assist for another die.
Okay,
I'll take it.
let's go.
You need my control roll?
No, because it's an assist.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. Five.
As
And
the air around you seems to swirl and coalesce as voices begin to whisper in the darkness. Below you see the figures of cultists, those in the center of that circle, begin to levitate and rise a few feet off the ground. Heads and arms held out, heads thrown back, and unnatural light emanating from what looks like back of the throat and eyes. As you are increasingly aware of, especially in the Deathlands, the nature of the dead now being drawn to this place. What would you like to do here? Why is my music not?
Going to wait until Caroline reacts to something, but I know what Gaz is gonna do.
I mean, Kieran
Among
is
others,
already drawing.
among others, you see the woman from earlier. You see others missing limbs. Some of them have their chests burst open. Some still bleed. Oil-like blood from large gouges where a chunk of neck has disappeared. Evidently, many of those that had those lingering doubts and refuse to go along with this are drawn in along with the sense of and a mounting dread as the horrors begin to heed the call.
And Caroline has only one order for those ghosts, especially the one with missing limbs. It's just get your revenge.
And at this point, Crow is going to add more fuel to the fire here. I'm checking off on my load. Ritual of Mirror and Bone.
Oh.
So I'm pulling out the book and I'm giving these guys I'm giving the ghosts in this area boosts so they can interact with the physical world much more strongly. Do you need me to make a roll?
Very nice. Go for it, yeah.
This feels like Fathom.
Yeah, for sure. I'll say with the ritual +1 or greater, or you can increase the effect to greater.
I will take greater effect.
Okay.
I'll take it. Poor man's crit.
The poor man's crit. Okay, as the two of you are, the way that your mind, the way you perceive things, you see the shadows of horrors. They seem to throw these unnaturally large shadows up onto the high walls as the in the dim light that exists down here, and looking to wherever is casting them, you see nothing. But you are both increasingly aware as the hairs on the back of your neck and arms stand on end that they are ever present. So I would say both of you, and this can be resisted for a level 1 harm on the same roll basically. What's a good word for it? Harrowed.
I'll take it.
Would you like a limited effect on?
So who's taking it? Me and Wyverian?
No,
or
it's
all three of
sorry.
us?
It's no, it's the two. It's the two. So it's Caroline and Crow.
Okay.
To resist it, is it insight? Or
Resolve.
Resolve. Come on.
I have a decent...
Okay.
Yeah, I have decent resist for this, but it's like I have 2
two.
stress I can't risk.
Yeah, so it's two
good.
stress as those figures from below, you see those ones that are now levitating, those ones that are, you see hands beginning to emerge from below them, appearing out of nothingness, that begin to claw at their ankles, beginning to pull them back down to the ground level. Whereas others are pushed back, you hear the scream as one of them is forced off the side. The scream doesn't stop, but fades away into nothingness as they disappear into the darkness below. Gaz, what did you want to do? Let's start at one.
Gaz kind of looks down. He's like, oh. He pushes himself up using his one remaining hand. Reaches down into like a little like cord he keeps around, pulls out a rage essence vial, takes the cork off, looks at Crow, and he's like, Crow, I get out of this. You're getting me out of Dustfall. As he takes a big old chug, and then he just takes out his fine hand weapon with the only hand he has left, and goes in to go to work with Ghost Fighter.
That means you're fighting ghosts. That at the moment they're somewhat on the same side.
Well, I know. It's potency in combat versus the supernatural. The ability is just called Ghost Fighter. Is
I was going to say,
personage not supernatural?
They are still people, flesh and blood. It's the ghosts of the area that is specifically intended.
Okay, so then not Ghost Fighter, just going in and chopping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got it. So, all right. So it's -1 because of I'm going to be pushing myself. It's -1 because of the level 2 harm. Is it +1 or greater effect because of the Rage Essence vial?
Let's say it's greater effect, but again, that makes it a desperate action because you are not going to be able to tell who's who. Whoever gets in your way is probably going to get a hatchet to the face.
Hey, I see a 6.
Or 6.
Oh, very nice. As you throw yourself, this is now jumping from platform to platform. Slight bit of wrong footing is it will be the last time you ever see. It will be the last time you ever see Gaz. But there is something else driving him. There's this instinctual drive that he knows he knows the distances he needs to gauge. This is any kind of cognitive reason to say don't do it has gone. As Gaz, would you like to describe what happens as you hit the first group of cultists? Those that have now, several of which have now stopped the incantations as their cohorts are being pulled down. You see one of them, his unseen hands tearing. These lacerations begin to form on the face.
I think just as like the slightest bit of poetic irony, he goes for the hand first, and then he goes for the leg, and he just chops, and probably the force from it is going to carry them off a ledge. And then he goes on to the next one. It's just there is almost like nothing in his eyes at this point. He's just staring, and he's just locking on, and he sees no faces. He only sees necks and like arms and chests, and he just aims and he goes, and he's not stopping. And he probably goes at one with his teeth at some point. He's drenched. The blood from one stump is nothing and compared to the blood that's now covering him.
As the red mist lowers, you are not sure what is your blood and what is that of others. And you can feel the loose flesh still hanging, stuck in between your teeth. You can taste the iron and blood. Your hands absolutely soaked. Your good hand soaked up to the elbow. Soaked up to the elbow. At some point, you can see where your axe has gone down, and it's stuck into you can see wedged into the board. But there's several others that you have just. You don't remember what happened, but you've killed with your bare hands. As you stand there, sense of reason and rationale returning. Now the whispers stopped. The last of the ghosts turning towards both Caroline and Crow. And one of them steps forward and just in this raspy voice as they all begin to fade. Thank you. As they return to the ghost field, disappearing from the material plane. And as the dust settles, so to speak, there is just a single set of footsteps that echoes once again off the rock walls, as despite a lack of eyes, she makes her way as if sighted, not setting a foot wrong, and stands on a bridge nearby, seemingly looking at all of you. And seems to take what has just happened in her stride, as if It was always going to happen.
Crow turns towards her. Either you come with us the easy way, or we do this the hard way. We can beat you at your own game.
I. She smiles. As if seeing the potentials. There is only one way this ends.
Caroline?
Yeah.
She's made her decision, so that makes ours.
Gaz would like to throw his axe.
Please no. Please no.
you don't believe you wouldn't believe how much self-control it's taking.
Crow.
As you muse on these, there's a point where she points, and she doesn't look in the direction, but points down slightly from her vantage point on the bridge and goes, He wants to throw the axe. I've seen that one.
As like Gaz is gritting his teeth and just clenching his fist around the handle.
Okay, table talk. We've got to get her into the ghost field. Like, you still have enough load for your ghost key?
I think it's free.
I have it. It's free for me.
Okay. Because we gotta get her into the ghost field. It's just a matter of how we're going to do it.
Okay, I'm going to say make me a final check. See how this goes.
You know
Would
what?
that be Prowl getting to her, or would it be Attune trying to use the key?
It's Attune. I'd say if it's using the key, it's probably going to be Caroline's Attune.
And can I assist?
Absolutely.
Can I assist by throwing the axe?
You could only assist.
Oh, only one person can assist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Risky standard.
I really feel like I should take a trauma from this session. This feels like a trauma.
Desperate standard.
Desperate standard. Oh, 2 desperate action. I lost it. Okay. Desperate. Standard. 1 point die. That's a 6.
As you watch, there's Caroline runs towards the edge, taking out the ghost key, a long cylindrical-like device with multiple tessellating parts, which begins to open up and snap around on itself as she throws herself off the edge and doesn't disappear from view by going down. Disappears from this world, where Caroline, you stand on an outcrop of dark rock, suspended on nothing, and there's you look as you see that the rock is turning, but it's turning on its axis. So there are points when you are upside down, but yet gravity does not have any effect. And as you walk forward to where you see her, now crouched over, and drawing once again. And as she does so, the pages flutter away and turn dissolving and fluttering away in what looks like a small swarm of moths, which disperse and turn to ash. As she turns around, the side of her head turns, you see that here she is once again sighted. As she continues to draw and says, "You could have been part of this once."
So you still think that what's happening is a good thing? Still think you're right?
It burns so that the new can be made.
And what guarantee that the new would be better? If innocent people are to suffer for it, it cannot be better.
I heard someone say once that there's always casualties.
Is that what it is? War?
No. Because I heard someone else once say that there's no real victors. Here there will be.
Wow.
She releases another paper. This one comes back towards you, and you're able to catch it and just catch a glimpse of it before it dissolves once again. And you see this one's hastily done, very, very scratchy lines, and she has on this drawn an image which is of Caroline, not the Pale Lady, but Caroline as she was as a Severosi.
Just discard it. It's a shrug.
You could be free. Maybe. Who knows?
Makes you think I'm not free now?
You're trapped. You're a prisoner in a body. It's not yours.
No.
I see. I go with you. And as she says that, as if finishing her sentence, the image disintegrates. And that future is lost.
That's not the future, that's the past. Even if I'm free, if I find a way to give Violet her body, that would be a wonderful thing. But I'm no longer living. And that's something sad. It's normal. And I look forward to it, but that is...
You could live again.
What's so horrible about being dead? It's part of everything. That's something to be afraid of or disgusted by. Whatever happens next.
Oh, I'm gonna say make me a final check.
What do you need?
Sway, probably.
Sway, I'm good on Sway. Is it desperate or
This is risky standard.
risky? Okay. Do I push myself? Do I keep it for resisting stuff? Okay, I'm going to push myself one final time.
Oh! As so if I go with you, what happens next?
You'll be in peace. Far for everything you'll be put into. And whatever happens out of here, you'll never witness it. So it would be left to your imagination, I guess. It's not a bad thing.
She looks at you, contemplating. Musing over her options. And as the other two remain in the pits below, you hear from above, you hear the heavy breathing and the skittering of hooves and the braying of horses.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Livespark. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter.
You've heard the silent song.
We all have the legend, the curses.
Some foolishness about a world as it was meant to be.
A city of ghosts.
An illusion that you can begin again.
How much would you give for silence?